no, I just can't stay. That Fin Affliction. Oh, she'll be mad tonight. That Fin Affliction. I'm waiting on one last bite.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're going haddock fishing this weekend, and Em bought a new rod for it, and we're gonna show you how we set up our stuff. So we're gonna start off by putting some mono on for a backer to fill the spool, and then we're gonna top it with braid. So here, I'll come over here. I'll show you the knot tie for the spool. So it's a uni knot that slides. So you double it over, and then you'll have the 3 lines, and then go around the first 2 like 4 or 5 times. Wet it down and pull that. So now it slides. We'll take that and put it right on the barber.
And this is the Penn Battle 3000 reel on the Ugly Stick Big Water.
Good and stiff for heavy jigs. That was a terrible knot. Don't tie that knot. I trimmed it a little close. Do it again. So, if you guys are watching this weekend's video and she gets spooled and the knot breaks, we can blame me. I gotta tell you though, it wasn't a haddock if it spooled.
Yeah, it was a shark.
We'll leave a little more of a tag in on there. That's way too much. There, I like that better.
Are you liking your Bubba pliers?
Yeah, I do actually. This is probably one of the nicest pair of pliers I've actually had for fishing. So,
Better?
yeah. Go ahead and reel about a half a spool on that.
You got that tension.
So it's also very important when you're spooling line on a spinning reel to lock your drag all the way down, because that way there's no oscillation in it, and the line goes on nice. So,
Ready?
yep. Hold on one second, because now I have to. It's going this way. So this way. Okay. Am I holding it too hard?
I just didn't want it to, I just don't want it to be.
Oh, go ahead. You can burn. My fingers don't feel it.
Okay.
Shouldn't take too long to get.
Yeah, halfway. We're not quite there, but.
There's
Very
rings on that spool
shortly.
actually. There's 3 separate rings.
Yep.
A third, 2/3, and full. So go a little under the in between the first 2 rings.
Nearly there.
Okay. Alright, that's perfect. Got too many things to cover. Alright. Now I'm gonna grab this braid. See? Still don't have everything on the table. This is 50-pound braid. It's good for jigging. It's super thin, cuts the water good, super sensitive. This is, we're gonna do a uni knot. So you lay your 2 lines past each other, and you just go ahead and tie the same knot we tied before. I like to go 6 times around. I don't know.
remember 6 times, not 5 or 7.
Yeah, it's bad luck to go 5 or 7.
Beautiful.
Although, the thicker, if you're using a thicker mono, less wraps is okay. 4 to 5 is definitely enough. If you got like 50 pound or something, it just gets a big ball. Your knot gets too big if you're making multiple wraps. Okay. So that. Okay, wind away. When you're winding braid on, it's important to really keep a lot of tension on it. Because if it's too loose on the spool, if you get something not like a decent sized fish on there, it'll actually cut into itself if the spool's loose and like fluffy, and then it binds up, and then your line breaks, and you have a bad day. And also too, the first time on the water, I like to just let it all off the spool and then wind it on wet. That also helps me out. Got some nice camo line here so the fish can't see it.
Are we going to use about half of that or all of it? Nearly all of it.
You can put more on there. I think it'll fit. The good thing about braid is it doesn't jump off the spool.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. You want it just a little under, so you can just kind of feel the tip of the spool. Now, we're going to tie, well, actually we'll just start with the line. We're going to tie a double dropper right here. I don't know, maybe we can put the pole to the side for now. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this well. I guess if I do it over the table, you should be able to see some kind of. So you start with your line, and you fold it over like that. And then you wrap the single line around the doubles like 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 2 that you started with, you split those apart. And then put that, when you were wrapping, through it. And you take your fingers out, wet it all, and pull it tight. I like to pull these 2 lines until it's close, and then pull on the loop so that you have a good, that's about what I like, perfect for length, right there. And we're gonna pull, oh, I don't know, 15 to 18 inches. And we're going to do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And split them. Pop it through. Now we have our 2 loops, and then put a swivel on one end to go to the rod. And I already have my crimpers out, so I'm just going to use those because it's easy. And I don't really like tying knots. This is 50-pound test, so I prefer to crimp it than tie it. So slide your crimp on, pop it through, swivel. Back into the crimp, Negative. Give it a crimp. And so that's going to go to the rod. This is going to be your bottom loop. I like about 1 foot off the bottom for the bottom loop. So we cut about 1 foot. And I put a big snap on the bottom so you can change weights easy. And we'll put same thing, put your crimp on first. Swivel through. You know, I'm actually gonna go around that twice so it stays still a little better. Through the crimp. And there we go, that's our rig. So now we'll tie this to the rod. If you haven't figured it out by now, I use the uni knot for just about everything. Through. And then, you know how earlier we were talking about less wraps with thicker line? With braid, I like to go 7 or 8. Because it's thinner and slides easier. So, a couple extra wraps don't hurt. That. And then you can either just, with these you take your loop, pop it through the eye of the hook, and you bring it around the hook and pull it tight, and that makes it easy to change your hooks out. If you want to use a smaller one or a bigger one, you can use this for catching just about anything that swims with bait. And then I'm gonna grab a sinker. You got a 6-ounce sinker here, and all you do is clip it on there, and you're good to go. Put your squid or clams or whatever on those hooks. You just down to the bottom and wait for the haddock to load up. It's good for sea bass too. We use these for sea bass sometimes, and we'll take the sinker off and just clip a bucktail on there. Bucktail and a hook, then you got 3 hooks in the water. So go ahead and reel it up, we'll hook it up, and good to go. Should be able to hook that right on. Does that have a hook keeper?
Actually doesn't have.
Oh, hook it right around there.
That is a tight pull.
Oh yeah, drag's still locked down. That's why it won't come out.
And it's not wrapped around the tip, right?
Nope. But here I'm gonna actually, before we hook it up, I'll hold on to it and you can pull back and we'll check your drag. So that if you do have something big that ends up grabbing it, it'll be good to go. Get a hook in my face. Alright, go ahead, lift up on it. Really hard. Okay, that
Yeah,
should work good.
that's good.
Just enough to slip.
Does not have a grabber.
Bring it back. That's fine. Perfect.
Alright. Good to
And
go.
hopefully we'll be out next week with a video of loading the boat with some haddock. If not, it might be rough. We're gonna end up trying for some tog or some squid or something, but we'll have something for you next week. So stay tuned.